the video game is a side-scrolling action game developed by Sunsoft and released on the NES in 1990. The game loosely follows the 1989 film Batman, which relaunched The Dark Knight into mainstream culture. Sunsoft had a reputation for high-quality NES releases, and Batman the video game generally delivers. The quality is evident right at the title screen with a fairly realistic rendition of Michael Keaton's Batman, rendered with just a few colors. Even the cutscenes are fairly impressive for the time, with a pseudo 3D appearance and a great-looking Batmobile. After these visual treats, you are dropped into the first level. I'm a little disappointed with the art direction overall, and Batman features a generic video game feel rather than the feeling of Gotham City or the film. Still, what is here looks great by NES standards. I enjoy the overall dark feeling, and the sprites and backgrounds are detailed and varied. More impressive are the controls. Batman is like a mix between Ninja Gaiden and Shatterhand. Combat is basic at first, featuring just a punch and jump, but Sunsoft did a great job making the punch feel substantial. It will stop most enemies in their tracks. Even cooler, while stunned, they can't harm you, adding additional weight to the power of the punch. The jumping is a bit stiff, but precise. Long presses allow for a nice jump arc, and small presses a shorter hop. Even better, you do have some control over the momentum mid-jump, which is excellent. However, the coolest part is the wall jumping. Batman can latch onto and jump off any vertical surface. This mechanic allows for some interesting platforming, and Batman the video game occasionally has some terrific level design because of it. The smoothness of the jumping puts Batman a notch or two above most NES side-scrollers of the time. Additionally, it just looks awesome. Batman moves with a fluidity not normally found in this time period, from the way his legs move to him actually turning his body when on a wall. Sunsoft did a wonderful job using the limited resources available and churning out a great-looking game. Of course, Batman is not limited to simply punching, and he has 3 unique items at his disposal. First is the Batarang. This has decent range, can fly through obstacles, and can hit enemies multiple times because of its return trip. Additionally, it uses just a single ammo point. It's a great versatile weapon, and I found myself using this through a majority of the adventure. Next is the spear gun. This weapon can reach all the way across the screen, but is a touch slow, can't travel through walls, and uses 2 ammo. While not as versatile as the Batarang, there are moments in the game where you can trap a large enemy on the edge of the screen and take it out from a safe distance. Finally, there is a knife-like weapon. This also slices through obstacles and has a great spread, allowing you to hit enemies not on the same plane as you. There is a drawback to this versatility. It uses 3 ammo points. It's also worth noting pressing the start button cycles through your weapons, rather than the select button. As a result, I accidentally hit the pause button on numerous occasions. Batman the video game features just 5 levels, however these are broken into multiple segments, and the game features an average length for the genre and time period. Difficulty is gradually increased as the game progresses, with tougher enemies, more challenging enemy placement, and trickier platforming. Sunsoft was at the top of their game during the NES era, and they did a great job getting all the little things correct. The levels are expertly crafted around the moveset of Batman, and the game rarely presents an impossible challenge. Batman the video game has limited ammo, but the enemies drop just enough to make sure you have what you need to keep making progress. If you have managed to mismanage your resources, there are enemy generators scattered through the 5 levels, letting you replenish your health and ammo. My only real complaint with Batman the video game is it feels a bit generic at times. Some enemies are from the DC universe, but as a whole, the main protagonist could be any generic hero. The environments don't feel like Gotham City, and instead could be any old industrial complex. This seeps into the bosses. While the first boss is Killer Moth, others are just machines. I feel this is a real missed opportunity. While the movie really only features the Joker, it seems Sunsoft had a blank check to do whatever they wished and could have done so much more. The bosses are fun with tough but manageable patterns, but as a whole, I feel they are a letdown. On the flip side, the music is awesome. The soundtrack is everything you could want from an NES game. The drums sound great, the compositions are complex and build up. The beats are fast, and overall these do a great job matching the dark tone of the environments, as well as the fast-paced action of the game. Overall, Batman the video game is a terrific action game for the NES. The controls are excellent, the level design is above average, the soundtrack rocks, and the graphics are generally appealing. There are just enough annoying enemies to make this 8-bit hard, yet the unlimited continue should be enough to get you through to the end. Batman the video game is fantastic and belongs in every NES collection. 4 out of 5.